Welcome to session 3. In this session, we're going to get our 3 characters, the baker, the teacher, and the grocer, all chatting with text boxes and introduce some other user interface elements into our game. First, we're going to create a text box object. This will be used so that we can actually talk to our NPCs. To do that, we're going to need some assets first. So if you're on PC, go to File Explorer, and if you're on the Mac, go to Finder. Navigate to the Assets folder that came with this course, and let's go to Sprites, User Interface, and we need these 2 sprites right here, SPR GUI Prompt and SPR GUI Text Box. You can select those and drag them into your asset browser. Now back in GameMaker Studio 2, I just want to stay organized. So we had created some subfolders, or subgroups rather, under the Sprites group for NPCs, player, town background, and whatnot. I'm going to add another one of these subgroups. I'm going to right-click on Sprites, choose Create Group, and call this User Interface. And I'm going to drag those 2 new sprites into that group. And I have this magenta block sprite that we used before. I'm going to put that in the same subgroup as well. And remember, if you make a group somewhere else, you can always drag it around and place it wherever you need to. So with that done, let's go ahead and make our text box object. In the asset browser, I'm going to right-click, choose Create, Object, and let's rename this new object to obj_textbox. Where it says no sprite here in the object editor, let's click, and let's find that text box sprite we just imported. It's this one right here, SPR GUI Text Box. With that attached, we're going to go ahead and add one event. So click Add Event and choose Create. I'm going to rename this description. And we're going to add one simple code block here. We'll call it text box variables, and we'll create one new variable. So I'm going to create a variable called text to show. Again, this is just something I'm making up. And we're going to assign it a string. Now, a string is just text. It can be a bunch of characters like that. It can be a complete sentence. And in some cases, it can even have, oh, I should learn to spell. In some cases, you can even have special characters in there to do some other fancy things later on. But for now, we just need to have some text in here because we're going to change it later. The key to a string, though, is it needs to be enclosed by these double quotes. And you'll see by default in GameMaker Studio 2, it highlights as yellow, so I know that it's a string. Yours might look a little different. So type whatever you want into here. And then we're good to go.